Hi there, I'm Lisa Taylor. Okay, I had to come on and share this with you. I was working with a client, and you know that passage, there's this passage, it's actually not in Science and Health, it's in Mrs. Eddy's writings, where she talks about error uncovered is self-destroyed. And then she goes on to say, with mathematical certainty in healing, that error when found out is 2/3 destroyed and the remaining third kills itself. Well, great quotes, great idea. And how many of us kind of wield that sword in terms of bad habits coming to the surface or things coming up to the surface to be healed? Great. But here's the trick. At least I have just sort of found this for me. When we have like a bad habit that wants to be changed or altered or fixed or whatever, and we discover this about ourselves, like a blind spot has just been shown to us that we've been doing this all along and we didn't know. What do we do in that moment? Because there's so much in kind of human psychological approaches, nothing wrong with that, of breaking habits and reforming new habits, all good, but that's not the case in which the remaining third kills itself. That's the case in which we take the human approach, good approach, but that's the approach that says, this is going to take time. I need to kind of rebuild a new habit. I need to sort of go in and dive into the problem and kind of muck around in that. So that's one approach, human approach. Great, go that path. Or in the moment that the error surfaces, take the divine approach. And what does that look like? What does it look like in that moment where 2/3 of the error has been destroyed by just identifying it? That last third destroying itself looks like, in that moment, taking the divine approach and saying, why does the last third destroy itself, kill itself? Because taking the divine approach is, I'm not what I do. I am who I am. It's like going into that place of being rather than doing. You can choose doing, do the work of changing the habit, all good. Or you can go into that place of being where there's grace. We were talking about that yesterday. There's that place of grace where you say, this is who I am. I am innocent. I am not the guilty party that had this bad habit that was doing all this bad stuff. I am innocent. And in that innocence and the claiming of that innocence, because that's what grace has given us, that's what God has given us, that's who we are as the child of God. In that place, there is no error. The last third kills itself because it can't exist in that place. So when you're facing an error, a habit, an evil, something that comes up for you, and you're facing it, you've identified it, you like that's the moment that you have the choice. Do you take the human approach or you take the divine approach? Now, here's where it gets really specific. When that habit resurfaces, like you've taken the divine approach, right? Then the temptation comes up again to identify yourself with the bad habit. You get to that point of choice again. Are you going to take the human approach or the divine approach? Like, so when the suggestion comes up, you recognize it as not who you are. You recognize it as a suggestion about the human concept that is separated from the divine, the mortal concept, I should say, that's separated from the divine, that's somehow separated from and believing in that I could have a bad habit, that I need to break that bad habit by doing something and sort of get out of the problem. That's focusing on the problem. So every time it comes up, identifying yourself clearly as the divine idea, that absolves you from identifying yourself with the bad habit. It's all about the identity. Who are you being, not what are you doing? So I hope that's clear. It was it's a new way of looking at it for me, so I may not have explained it clearly, but I love the idea of that little moment of which path are we going to take? Am I going to take the path of the human or the path of the divine? And in the divine, the last third destroys itself. In the human, I got to go do the work of destroying it by taking the path. Nothing wrong with that. It just takes a little bit longer. And the last third doesn't destroy itself over there. So just wanted to offer that. Oh, and if you like these ideas and you would love to go deeper, book a call with me, free. Like just book a call with me. Go to lisataylorcs.com and let's talk, because I just love these and I would love to support you. And I don't know, questions going deeper, whatever you feel like. I'm like, I just love this stuff. And I love talking about ideas and coming up with new ways of looking at things and seeing if we can see it more clearly and kind of turning this diamond around and looking at it. Things that there's so much truth in the Bible. So love this truth. Anyway, love you guys. Talk to you later. Have a great weekend if I don't talk to you.